What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel, welcome back to today's vlog. Now today is going to be a relatively good one because we're discussing two topics that I have been wanting to talk about for a while. The first one is my diet and how it's changed and how I'm structuring my food around my training now that I train at 4 in the morning and I train really early in the morning. And then tomorrow we're going to actually go through some tips on bench pressing because it's chest and triceps tomorrow, and I think bench press is one of my strongest lifts. So I want to give my tips and advice on that and how I've actually improved that. But for now, it's 3 o'clock and we've just finished work. I'm now down at the beach in my local area. Let me just show you this site. Let me just show you how nice it looks. Look at that. It's gorgeous, man. Absolutely beautiful. I've just finished work and I got sent this picture last night by my brother while he was out shopping. Now, we're very slow in the UK and we don't get that much nice food, especially low calorie. So for people like me that train, actually like being healthy but love fucking being fat and having ice cream and stuffing their face, it's really hard to try and find food that actually fit that. Now in America they do Halo Top and we've only just got that here, but we only had like a few flavors and they were relatively boring. We've now got 3 new flavors. We got the birthday cake red velvet and the oatmeal and cookie. I also believe we got the coconut flavor. So we're actually going to Tesco's to try and pick some of them up, and then I'm going to give it a taste test and let you guys know what I think. I'm only going to grab 2 flavors. I think we're going to go for the birthday cake and the oatmeal and cookie because that sounds like the best flavor ever. Birthday cake's amazing. When I had it in America, oh, it was to die for. So let's get to Tesco's and actually get some nice food. Okay, we're back from Tesco's. We've got our Halo Tops. Like I said, the 2 flavors that I picked up are oatmeal cookie and birthday cake. I'm gonna give these a taste test. We got dinner cooking at the moment. I'll show you what I'm having when it's made. But for now, we're gonna try these 2 new Halo Top flavors. Now, I've never tried these flavors before. Even when I was in America, I had birthday cake flavored ice cream, not Halo Top. So this is gonna be like a live first reaction to the actual flavors. So we're going with birthday cake first. Fuck me. That is incredible. This with like some warm cookies or like a donut or something warmed up in the microwave, that will taste amazing. Okay, I actually find it somehow strange that these are both only 280 calories, which is less than the cookie dough, which is 360. And this tastes 10 times fucking better, and we're about to try the oatmeal one for the first time. This was already opened. Someone's pikeyed this. Live taste test reaction. That's good. So this is amazing because I have such a sweet tooth for like ice cream and cakes and crap like that, that these 2, I don't actually think they're going to stay in this house much longer than 2 days. But this one, especially 280 calories, I'm having the rest of this tonight. Now I'm going to chuck these in the freezer because they are nearly melting because it is sweltering in here. And now while I've got you alone, while dinner's cooking, like I said earlier in the video, I kind of want to talk about how I'm structuring my diet now compared to how I was when I was actually cutting for the Summer Shredding Show. Now I'm going to do a video next week about everything that I've kind of learnt from doing my first competition and doing the Summer Shredding Show, and this is going to be included in it, but we're going to talk more in detail now. So before I started training early in the mornings, I trained in the evenings. Now when I did this, I made sure that the majority of my carbohydrates were being eaten before 6 PM, which is when I used to train. And this is because carbohydrates are your body's main source of energy, okay? Carbohydrates, you get glycogen from that, which is then turned into glucose, which is then stored into your muscles, which is then used by your body and by your muscles Okay, so before I started training in the mornings, I usually trained around 6 p.m. every day, which meant I wanted to consume the large majority of my carbohydrates for the whole entire day before about 4:30, 5 o'clock. Now, this is because carbohydrates are your body's main source of energy. You get glycogen from them, which is stored in your muscles, which is then turned into glucose, which is then used as energy to help you perform in your exercises. Now, if you are having the majority of your carbs before you actually train, you're then going to be able to perform better because you've got more energy. Whereas if I was consuming a lot of my carbs at night, which there is nothing wrong with, there's no bad benefits or weight gain, which there is nothing wrong with. You will not gain weight from eating your carbohydrates at night. But what I would find is that if I did save a lot of my carbs towards the night, even though it was easier to maintain sort of flexible dieting, because I could have things that I enjoyed at night, my training would suffer greatly because I would have a lot of them at night and then not be able to train to my fullest because of the lack of energy. So now I train early in the mornings. Usually my training sessions are about 4 or 5 a.m. Every single morning. So this allows me to have all of my carbohydrates, or about like 70% of my carbohydrates at night. And they are usually slow digesting ones, so more complex carbohydrates. And this is stuff like your rice, your breads, your pastas, potatoes, nothing like crisps or breakfast biscuits, nothing like that. I would take them maybe 10 to 15 minutes before actually doing my first working set, so I'd munch on some like M&Ms while doing my warm-up sets, just so I could get that sort of quick-acting, simple carbohydrates. So the whole point of me doing this clip and putting this clip into the video, even though it's quite long, is to just inform you guys that if you are training early in the morning or you're training at night, just fit your carbohydrates around where you're training. Okay, so you can have some of them after you finish training just to replenish glycogen stores, which is very important. I would prefer and I would recommend making your post-workout meal a high protein one, just to help with protein synthesis. But if you really want to get the benefits of each single workout and maximize each single workout, then have maybe 30 to 40% of your carbohydrates before you actually train. If you're gonna eat them maybe an hour before you start training, maybe do a mix between complex and simple carbohydrates. So something like rice mixed with maybe something like a rice cake or maybe 2 rice cakes. Obviously don't put them together because it's going to taste grim, but something like that would benefit you more than if you had a lot of your carbohydrates after you trained. So now that that's out of the way, So now that's one of 2 topics out the way that I want to cover. We'll get on to the next. So now that that's out of the way, let's actually take a look at what I'm eating at the moment. So one thing that I haven't had in a while because I was dieting for the summer shredding event is pasta. Now, I'm making some pasta. I'm going to put some bolognese with it, with some, they're called broccoli, with some broccoli. I'm going to wait for the pasta to be nearly done, then I'm going to chuck the broccoli on. We've actually got the kettle boiled at the moment, which you've probably heard. I'm going to have some cheese in my pasta, and I'm probably going to mix it with some beef, some ground beef, because it's going to taste actually fucking incredible. And I'm also going to put some gravy over the vegetables just because they taste like shit on their own, and I may have a wrap to go with it. Now, because I'm bulking at the moment, I can actually fit a lot of these carbohydrate meals in. So, like I was saying to you guys, this is going to be maybe 40% of my carbohydrates, only because I haven't eaten a lot today. I've only had high protein stuff. I've had a protein bar and maybe a bag of rice. I did have a bag of rice and some ground beef at work. So I'm going to have this, and I'm going to finish off my carbohydrates later tonight, like I said I was going to. Even though I always say eat your complex carbs at night if you're going to train in the morning, I'm going to have that fucking tub of Halo Top, so I'm not leading a good example. But anyway, there's not really much more that I'm doing today other than a bit of work. That's really about it. So I'm going to end today's portion of the vlog here, and I'm going to catch up with you tomorrow, where we're going to be in the gym giving a live commentary on some tips for you guys to help you improve your bench press. So see you there. bench press tips. Let's start off with the most important, but not a lot of people do it, and that's warming up correctly. This includes mobility exercises and actually warming up with the exercise that you're going to do. For example, if you're doing a bench press, you would start up. For example, if you're doing a bench press, you would start with just lifting the bar after doing some mobility exercises, and then you would chuck on maybe 40, 60, and then 80% of whatever working weight that you're going to do with. The reason for this is the mobility work is going to help loosen up the joints, and then the actual warming up of the exercise is going to help engage your muscle groups and engage the targeted muscles so that when you perform the exercise, you're not going to injure yourself, and it reduces that risk. Secondly, we're going to talk about progressive overload. Now, this is something that I'm doing quite a lot lately, and this is the idea that you add weight or add sets or add reps or decrease rest periods every single session to improve you in general and to make sure that you're gaining strength, gaining muscle. The third thing that I want to touch on is that you see me do here a lot in the video, and that's kick-ups, especially with a dumbbell bench press. Now, the idea of that is, if you see on the video, I kick my knees up, bring the weights, the dumbbells close to my chest, and then push them up. What a lot of people do is they go to the side, you pick up their dumbbells, and then they push the weight up, and then they start. Now, there's two issues with this. One, if you're picking up 30 kilos down by the side of you, it's going to increase your chance of actually injuring your shoulders, because the majority of injuries come from the little nitty-gritty parts of an exercise and not the actual exercise itself. So, for example, in a bench press again, it's the unracking of the barbell, which is where a lot of people get their injuries from. And with a dumbbell bench press, it's actually getting the weight up off the floor, because it's such an unnatural position, an unnatural angle for your shoulders, that you increase the chance of injuries. The second part is you're wasting energy. Now, if you're not kicking the weight up and you're bringing it from the side, you're essentially performing a rep, but you're not counting it. So if you're going for 8 reps and you hit maybe 7 reps, if you'd done a kick up, you would have preserved energy and been able to get that last rep. The fourth and final point that I'm going to make is actually forced reps. Now, this is what you can do with a training partner if you have one like I do, and that's essentially, if you can only get 6 reps on your bench press, then they would spot the eccentric part of the movement, so help bring your arms up, and then you control the negative. Now, the benefit of this is that you're actually going to be able to perform above your max. So again, if you're doing 3 sets of 8 on a bench press and you only get 2 sets of 8 and then a set of 6, having your spotter help you force those last 2 reps out, again, is going to really take your RPE, so rate of perceived exertion, from a 6 or 7 to an 8 or a 9, and this is where we're going to activate the muscle fibers that we wouldn't usually activate because we've given up and we've exhausted ourselves to the extreme. But because we have that, our training partner able to spot us, we're able to exhaust the muscle fibers beyond what our body is capable of, therefore increasing the chance of protein synthesis, aka muscle growth. So I'm going to bring the vlog to an end here. I hope these tips have helped you, and if you guys have any tips that I have missed or you think people would benefit from knowing that would help them in their bench press, please leave them in the comment section below. Also, if you're watching this, my podcast that I'm reviving again has went live on my SoundCloud, and it will be on YouTube here Monday at 6 PM. So thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, and as always, I'll see you in the next vlog.